your layer to keep you warm out there. We've got 48 in Clemson as well as Spartanburg, a couple of the warmer spots there. 46, in downtown Greenville. It's 44 down to Abbeville with 40 in Toccoa, Georgia right now. In the mountains, you're anywhere from that 37 in Waynesville to 45 in Rutherfordton. So it is a chilly start no matter where you are here across the Western Carolinas. Significantly cooler than those 50s and 60s we had at this hour yesterday. Anywhere from 14 to 24 degrees cooler right now. And as you head out the door this morning to the bus stop, again, want to make sure that the kids have that extra layer out there. But then this afternoon, we're headed for t-shirt weather into the upstate. The mountains a little bit cooler as you top out in the low to mid 60s, but we've got 69 on the way home from school today in the upstate with a lot of sunshine. No need for the rain gear. In fact, it is a nice dry week ahead. We're going to talk more about the warmer temperatures, though, that return just in time for the weekend coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now, I want to send things over to our first alert. We're in the middle of a handful of days of some slightly cooler temperatures, but the good news is we're going to be climbing from here. We've got that 85 that we had on Monday, dropped to that 74 yesterday, so about a 10-degree difference there. A little bit cooler even still for today with that 71, but then we start to climb a little bit, 73 tomorrow, then we're back to the 80s on Friday, and that's going to linger all the way through the holiday weekend and into the early part of next week, jumping us back above normal for this time of year. 72 this afternoon in Simpsonville with Chesney and Blacksburg, a high of 70 degrees. A lot of sunshine today. An absolutely gorgeous day out there. Just a degree or two off of where we should be for the middle part of April. 73 from Easley down to Calhoun Falls and 96 with a high of 74 in Bowman. In the mountains, you're going to get those 60s this afternoon with 66 from Bryson City to Silva out to Hendersonville, 67 in Marion, and even 60 degrees in Highlands. So not too bad no matter where you are across the Western Carolinas. Now, in the mountains, you're still running about 5 or so degrees below normal. 70 is your normal daytime high, so that's 64 for forecast high is 6 degrees off of normal. And in the upstate, you're about 3 degrees off your normal daytime high, which is 74 for today. In terms of the winds, going to be a much different day for us across the upstate. However, the winds are going to stay elevated into the mountains this afternoon. Those are really through the morning and into the afternoon. Those winds are going to continue to gust as high as about 20 to 25 miles per hour, maybe even some 30-mile-per-hour gusts across some of those mountains in Yancey and Mitchell County, even as you look into parts of Buncombe County as well. That's going to continue throughout the morning hours, but then this afternoon, those winds start to come down here. So that's going to be not as big of a factor. Certainly, though, something that the folks in McDowell County need to pay attention to is those gusty winds across the area. We're in for another chilly night tonight as those temperatures drop down into the mid-40s across the upstate once again, even a little cooler into the mountains with those upper 30s to low 40s. That is the potential for maybe some frost, especially across some of the higher elevations of the mountains. So it's going to be a cold start to the day on Thursday, but it's the last of the truly cold mornings as we start to moderate a little bit more each morning. By Friday morning, we're still starting out in the 40s, but then we get those 50s for morning lows on Saturday morning and then 60s as we head into this upcoming weekend as we also warm up our afternoon highs. So your weekend, Easter weekend forecast looking absolutely stunning out there. 80 degrees for Good Friday there on Friday, 84 degrees on Saturday, and 85 for Easter Sunday. A lot of sunshine as we head throughout this weekend, and those warmer temperatures again sticking around well beyond temperatures on the way for the next couple of days. Today and tomorrow at least running right around or just below normal for this time of year. But then we've got this big warm up on the way for the weekend as the 80s return, not just for the upstate, but also for Western North Carolina. And then rain chances for next week are all over the place. There's not a lot of agreement in the data, and I'll show that to you here in just a second. But let's talk about today. A lot of sunshine out there. So despite the fact that we're about 5 to 10 degrees below normal for this time of year, it's still not bad out there with 72 in Greer as well as Malden and Union, 70 for the afternoon high in Cowpens, 74 from Seneca into Hartwell with 73 this afternoon in Belton. You'll see 64 out towards Bryson City with 60 up in the Spruce Pines, 66 in Hendersonville, and Forest City getting close to that 70-degree mark with a high of 69. Now tomorrow should be a touch warmer, but still again just a degree or two below normal for both the mountains and the upstate as we top out about 73 to around 77 in the upstate and about 69 to around 72 there into the mountains. But another nice quiet day with a lot of sunshine on the way. It's 80 degrees on Friday, so those 80s return to the upstate, still into the mid 70s, but again above normal by about 5 to 10 degrees as we look ahead to the day on Friday. And then about 10 degrees above normal for Saturday and Sunday with those mid 80s into the upstate, low 80s into into the mountains. And notice we're looking nice and dry as we head through this upcoming weekend. Nice mix of sun and clouds each day. So the next big thing is going to be that chance for rain. And right now, there is just not a lot of good agreement in the data as to what we're going to see for next week. So this is a look at the European model that shows we stay dry during the day on Sunday and overnight, and really don't see anything until a cold front approaches Monday afternoon and gives us a small chance for some scattered showers. But what this particular set of data is going to do is that it's going to keep that rain chance going into Tuesday and Wednesday with some scattered showers around. Now, the reason that there is a lot of questions in this is that the GFS, or the American model, shows that by Sunday evening we start to see a few of those scattered showers from that cold front come through. That cold front clears the area as we head into the day on Monday. So Monday looks like maybe the higher impact day with both models showing the rain. But then beyond that, Tuesday and Wednesday dries out in terms of what the GFS is showing. So that gives us a much drier forecast for the middle part of next week. Now, because we've got so much difference in the models right now, it's a big shrug emoji on the forecast in terms of those rain chances. Going to be dealing with some of the stronger winds over the area, whereas the upstate going to see a much calmer day when it comes to the winds. So this is a look at the winds up into the mountains this afternoon, or throughout the day, I should say. And you'll notice that they really start to build by the time we get into about 9-10 o'clock, and we start to see some of those gusts about 20 to 30 miles per hour. That's going to continue all the way through 7 o'clock this evening, and then finally start to come down as we head into those overnight hours. Now, currently, we're not seeing any of those stronger wind gusts, so now's a good time for those firefighters to be out and about, but we've got these calmer winds. Again, not going to be a factor for the upstate as we head throughout the day today. Now, it is a chilly start to the day, but we are starting to already warm up now that the sun has been up for about an hour. We've got 52 in Greenville with 50 in Spartanburg, 45 down in Lawrence, and 44 in Gaffney are one of the cooler spots there. In the mountains, we've got most of you in the 40s, 41 in Bryson City, 47 in Hendersonville, but Waynesville, you are the exception with that 37 degrees. So I would grab a jacket as you head out the door this morning, but layer it up because as we head into this afternoon, we're back to the 60s and 70s. 53 at 9 o'clock, 62 at noon, 68 as we head towards 3 o'clock this afternoon, with definitely needing the last handful of days there. We did have some 60s Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but then we've jumped to that 85 on Monday just a couple of days ago, backing off yesterday to that 74, 71, so even cooler today, but it's the coolest day going forward as we back to the, we're up a couple of degrees tomorrow and then jumping back to the 80s as we head into Friday and into this holiday weekend. So today, not a bad looking April day for us, really. We've got 72 from Travelers Rest to Simpsonville as well as Clinton, 70 degrees for the afternoon high up into Chesney with a lot of sunshine as we head throughout the day today. 74 in Bowman with Easley, Walhalla, and Calhoun Falls, a high of 73 for you this afternoon. We'll get 63 up into Marshall down to Canton with 66 in Hendersonville, even 60 in Highlands. You're always one of the cooler spots, but you're not too far behind everybody else as we head throughout the day today. We are still a touch below normal for this time of year, especially for the mountains. Normal daytime high is 70 degrees, so that 64 is about 6 degrees off. In the upstate, 74 is your normal daytime high, so 71 is 3 degrees off of your normal high. In terms of the winds, not going to be a factor for the upstate today. I expect to see some pretty calm winds today. You may get an occasional gust up around 15 miles per hour, but nothing compared to the last couple of days. However, the mountains are still going to see some of those 20 to 30 mile per hour winds, some of the higher winds across some of the Yancey and Mitchell County mountains there, and even into the higher elevations of Buncombe County. But then as we head past about 2 o'clock, those winds start to come down quite a bit. And really, as we head through the evening hours, we're calming down across our entire area with a much calmer day in terms of those winds going forward into the day tomorrow. Just something to kind of keep in mind. It's not going to be as bad as yesterday, but still some of those gusty winds for parts of our mountains. Tonight's going to be a chilly one as we drop back into those mid 40s across the upstate. In the mountains, one of the coldest mornings we've got this week, upper 30s to low 40s, especially through the higher elevations. I'd be thinking if you've got some of those sensitive plants about protecting them, as we do have the potential for frost and even getting down to around freezing at the tops of the mountains there. But we start to climb as we head into the next couple of days. Still in the 40s on Friday, so still a chilly start, but then much more mild into the weekend with 50s and 60s for overnight lows, and that goes hand in hand with those afternoon highs warming up as well. We're back to 80 on Friday, so well above normal for this time of year by about 5 degrees, 10 degrees above normal on Saturday and Sunday as we get into those mid 80s for the holiday weekend.